ladies. It's very good to see both of you, and Administrator McCarthy, it was good to be at EPA a few weeks ago. I want to thank all of your employees for what they do every day, and both of your employees for trying to make our environment safer and cleaner. Let me begin by saying that one of my highest priorities is supporting the restoration of the Chesapeake Bay. Restoration of the Bay has been and will continue to be a long-term project. Furthermore, our work is made easier because we know what is harming the Bay. The Chesapeake Bay is one of, if not the most studied water bodies in the world. We understand in great detail how nitrogen, phosphorus, and sediments enter the Bay from runoff that flows across impervious surfaces through eroding urban streams and aging storm sewers and across farm fields. We understand how the discharges that are produced by wastewater treatment facilities and that leach from septic systems flow into the Bay. We also understand the impact of the atmospheric deposition. We do not need more study. We need to stop the inflows of pollutants harming the Bay, and we need to ensure that we have clean water throughout the nation. And I just have two questions, Administrator McCarthy. Under Section 303D of the Clean Water Act, the EPA has encouraged some states to put into place total maximum daily load. Maryland and other states in the Chesapeake Bay watershed have led that charge. What gains do states like Maryland, and by extension the Chesapeake Bay watershed, stand to receive from an updated Waters of U.S. rule? And my second question is the Chesapeake Bay region has for decades been working to identify and address ongoing sources of pollution to the Bay. How does this proposed rule affect these efforts? Has the current confusion surrounding the scope of clean water protections complicated these cleanup efforts? I'll listen for your answer.
Well, first of all, thank you for coming to EPA and for your congratulations and thanks to the staff who are working very hard. First of all, let me thank you for all the work that Maryland and others have done on TMDL. Let me explain to you what I think the benefits of this rule are. We are faced with significant uncertainty at the moment, which means that people are asking sometimes questions that take a long time to answer about whether or not something is an important water to protect, whether if they intend to pollute it or destroy it in some way, what process they need to go through. And so the people are focusing their resources sometimes and money on areas where they don't need to look, and they're missing areas that are significant in terms of our ability to protect clean water and safe water for everyone. So this is an ability to try to look at the science, cut through some of that uncertainty, focus people where the attention ought to be focused, allow our agriculture community to farm and allow folks to ranch and do all of the work that's so important to us, but also make sure that we're focusing on the waters that we really need to protect. It will save everybody time, everybody money, and it will also be respectful of what the law requires us to do and the science is telling us is most important.
And, you know, one of the things that Senator Cardin talked about, and it's that and we find it a major problem in Maryland, I'm sure they find it throughout the United States, is the trying to make sure that our farming community is protected, and at the same time trying to make sure that we keep our water clean. You talked about it a little bit, but I mean, tell us a little bit more about your interaction with the Secretary of Agriculture, and how do we strike that balance?
Well, the USDA and EPA have been working hand in hand in terms of understanding the concerns of the agriculture community so we can better address those concerns in a final rule. We are working closely, as you know, with how we align what we need to do to protect water, especially beautiful resources like the Chesapeake, and how does USDA craft programs that work with the agriculture community to support conservation efforts, to support the building of buffer zones that can act as filters that can protect water quality. And so we are working hand in hand to understand what we need to do to ensure that this is clear, so that the agriculture community recognizes that the exemptions in the law are indeed protected, that they recognize that this rule is all about narrowing within the jurisdiction of the Clean Water Act based on what science is telling us is important and not important, and that we continue to work hand in hand with them so they can produce the food, fuel, and fiber we all really rely on,
Thank you
but
very
do
much,
it in a
Mr.
way that's certain.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And just to give everybody a heads up, we're going to go to Senator Bozeman next, then Senator Sullivan,